Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. What the enemy shit going on? All right, y'all. So we're here to check out a new episode of Death Battle. Some of y'all are not gonna like that I'm releasing this today. For some of my stream only audiences, but for my video only audiences, you know, it's like finally we gotta upload. You know, hey, look, I'm not gonna lie though. The past few days we've been consistent. We've been consistent. I'm not gonna hold you. So we're gonna get back into it. So we have a Shigaraki versus Mahito Death Battle. My Hero Academia versus Jujutsu Kaisen. Here's the thing. Who do I have winning, right? Before we get into this, what's my parlay? Shigaraki. Look, here's the thing, right? I think even if you don't include his other quirks, and right now I'm an anime only person, so I didn't really see him like do any really perform any other quirk abilities just yet aside from decay. His body's different though. Like his body's almost like the same type of physique as Go to Age All Might. Is that right? Like he's like literally All Might in his prime physically. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Long intro aside, let's go get into this video. If you guys have any more requests, please put them down in the comment sections down below. Until then, get this video, man. Hey bro, we got some food today. We got some food today, man. Some Chick-fil-A, got a little smoothie. Let's get it. Sure. Let's box.
Shigaraki versus Mahito. The symbol of fear versus the human disaster curse.
Also, if there's any spoilers, Shigaraki, or if they kind of go a little further into depth about certain things that I don't know about yet, and sometimes you can tell when they kind of like transition to another piece of information to another, I'll start being like, you know, I'll take the earbud out and I'll just look away if I think it's about to be a spoiler.
Where's an boomstick?
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and
skills. See who win a death battle. Is there? Let's go.
Tenko Shimura was just a sweet, shy boy.
Oh, they got the theme.
But sometimes the hand of fate can't abide sweet shy boys.
Ruthlessly beaten and abused by his hero-hating father, Tenko pushed beyond his emotional limits until he activated his inherent superpower, or quirk.
He's 21.
Something cool like flying or super strength. In his terror, he accidentally killed his whole family.
Yeah.
Except for dear old dad. That one was intentional.
Tenko wandered the streets alone, silently begging for someone, anyone, to help him. If only a hero was there to save him. But instead, the only open hand he found belonged to the devil.
All for one.
That's one way to put it.
Super villain in history.
The fact that no one was there but a villain is crazy.
Everyone and everything, and grooming him to one day lead his league of villains.
Be off on 2.0.
Hero society.
Yeah.
With that came a new name, Tomura Shigaraki, and an absolutely nightmarish quirk, Decay. It does what it says on the tin.
Yep.
Everything Shiggy touches with all 5 fingers turns to dust. The perfect power for someone who just wants to destroy. Pretty menacing, if not for that dorky-ass costume. I get it, hand.
Dorky costume. Let's be real. It wasn't even a costume he had in the other seasons. He just had a regular like shirt on and he just had the hands. But Loki, it's kind of like terrifying to know that he can still decay someone regardless on if they're stronger than them. He could decay like Deku. He could decay All Might. He could decay Endeavor. Like it's scary. It's scary. I wonder if his decay could work on like someone like Superman.
Are his thing, but come on, they just look so dumb and fake.
Oh, those aren't prosthetics. Those are real hands.
Yeah, from his family
that he killed.
Yeah,
attached to his face, and explicitly commanded to be left there by his mentor so that he would never forget his rage.
Yeah.
Okay.
While his use of decay started off relatively weak, it rapidly increased in power and range as Shigaraki came into his own.
Decay isn't even limited to whatever
problem.
he's touching. Anything that
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Also decays,
spreading like an all-consuming miasma that can wipe out anything from an enormous tower to an entire city.
I don't know if Mahito gonna fight this.
Only hope is to isolate the body part that is disintegrating before it gets to something vital.
After years of training with the greatest supervillain of all time, Shigaraki was finally put in charge of his own team with one mission: He must kill his
Oh, man.
master's rival, the #1 hero, All Might.
Yeah, it worked out so well, but you know.
Shigaraki was a terrible leader, quick-tempered, short-sighted, and well,
Cringe! Oh, he's just so cringe. He uses gamer lingo unironically. He whines like a baby when things don't go his way. He's the kind of guy who would say normie in real life in front of normie.
Yo!
But they say defeat.
Oh
is
my
the
gosh,
greatest
what
teacher
was that
of
clip
all.
from?
Only through struggle could Shigaraki manifest his dark conviction.
Right, as
Oh, yeah.
All Might's new protege, Izuku Midoriya, was coming into his own as well.
These two rivals, the inheritors
got
of
through
their
the
master's
mud,
blood
too.
feud, would push themselves past their own limitations.
So they
Especially
clash.
when All Might and All For One double KO'd each other, leaving Shigaraki to lead the League of Villains all by himself.
And with the stakes higher than ever before, Shigaraki stepped up. He personally battled the monstrous Gigantomachia for a month and a half straight, and conquered other villain organizations.
I forgot
to create
that was
the
a whole
Territorial
month?
Liberation
Oh,
Front.
shoot.
Thousands
I need
of
to
new
rewatch
soldiers
season,
for
what was
his
it, 5?
personal army.
All to impress All For One's personal quack, Dr. Ujiko,
Yeah,
who spent
that crazy
months
dude.
upgrading Shigaraki's body to make it more like his sensei's. It might have been constant agony, but Shiggy went from Chud to Chad.
Ujiko's experimentation vastly increased Shigaraki's strength, speed, and
Yeah,
durability.
he was a
enough to
problem.
match and surpass even All Might's absurd powers.
Sharing All Might's power between them, Deku and Bakugo were able to punch an
Whoa, wait,
island-sized
what?
hole in a cloud that reached 2,000 miles into the sky. We've calculated that before to be nearly 80 million megatons of TNT, almost as much as the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs.
Oh
And
no,
Shigaraki
wait, what
can
the
move
heck?
Fast enough that his body produces
not even gonna-
sonic shockwaves and can even
I'm not even gonna question all that because I haven't watched any of the other movies aside from like the one where they're like on that island and like All Might and Deku they teamed up together to like fight that villain. That's literally the only thing I remember. But yeah, let's continue.
catch laser beams.
And he's tough enough to survive Star and Stripes Intercontinental Ballistic Cruise Punch.
Woo!
The new name for my penis. Move over, gigantic.
He got bailed out in this fight, in my
Anyway,
opinion.
It also made a blast so big it showed up against the curvature of the Earth.
I'm
Though he
saying.
might seem invincible, when Shigaraki's body is pushed hard enough, he will evolve into a state of uncontrollable power.
So Decay became? Oh shit! More hands!
Shigaraki can spontaneously generate flesh into existence.
That is
oceans of it
crazy.
whenever he
I
wants.
don't remember
He can
seeing this
even
in the
use it
show,
as a
man.
type
It
of
was
armor
wild.
to defend himself in close combat.
But that's nothing compared to Ujiko's greatest gift. Shigaraki wanted to be the new All For One. So what better way than the old man's quirk?
All For One's quirk, All For One, allows its user to steal and store quirks with just
You know what's also crazy? Right now in the show, we really didn't get to see him do that for real. Like,
a touch.
And All For One has hundreds of
That's
them stored
scary.
up, collected over the years.
Each quirk is connected to a memory of its user's essence in the form of a spirit, a vestige.
Kinda like a piece of their soul. They exist in this kinda psychic world in Shigaraki's body and can even act as a spiritual defense should it be invaded.
And
Yeah.
with those vestiges came quirks like super fast healing, air blasts, radio waves, flight, telekinesis, teleportation of others.
well, okay,
and
let me not hear
ability to
all the
track
different
foes.
abilities because
He
it might
can
be
even
from the manga
combine
too.
multiple quirks together, like in this big-ass electric Kamehameha.
However, any vestige stolen or destroyed will also remove that quirk from Shigaraki's repertoire. They're
Yeah.
also sentient, and some can even fight for control.
Which is when the second shoe finally dropped. Because Shigaraki also got All For One's vestige, that means All For One was now in possession of a shiny new body that he'd spent the
Yeah,
last 15
he was
years
putting his own
holding for him
consciousness
to take
into
over.
him.
Shigaraki's entire existence was planned from the beginning. Why? Because All Might's previous mentor was Nana Shimura, Tenko's grandmother.
Yup.
That to mess with All Might, that is some next level hating right there.
He manipulated
This is the love for the game.
Shigaraki's entire life, all for one purpose.
Okay, that's a
So
bar.
corrupted,
That's a
he
bar.
would grind away at All Might's perfect world, allowing All For One to take full control.
Wait,
But
whoa,
All For
now.
One's
Wait,
possession
hold on, we're starting to see
wasn't
black and
complete,
white.
and Shiggy
Got some manga
managed
stuff
to
going
fight
on.
his way back to the top,
Oh, I
literally
got an earbud.
decaying
Listen
his
to
way
this.
through vestiges in the process,
Oh,
all
nope,
to
there's
fight
no-
his rival
so see if
Deku
he's going
one
manga.
last time.
Despite Izuku's best efforts to save him, Shigaraki
But basically, in
was
other
too
words,
far gone.
he's a problem.
His spirit decayed by years of venomous hatred.
And the new symbol of hope
Still a lot of
defeated the
manga
new symbol
stuff.
of fear. burying all for one's grudge for good.
All that Shigaraki asked was to be remembered as the heartless destroyer he
Still
was
see him
raised
on
to
the
be,
panel?
and not the broken, angry, crying little boy
Oh, that
he
looks
really
familiar.
was deep inside.
For just that one moment, though, Shiggy got in
Okay,
Deku
hold
the
on.
only
Wait,
thing
wait.
he'd
I
been
don't know.
denied
I
his
don't know.
whole life. The one
I'm gonna
thing
let
his
them keep going
lifelong
with this part.
nihilistic tantrum was really all about. He got a hero who tried to save him.
Sorry, y'all. I don't want to get spoiled any more than I. Oh wait!
His
All
battle
right,
is
we're switching
sponsored by
over.
Robin Hood Gold.
Great.
With Robin Hood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment.
But in summary, basically, Mahito's cooked. Like, maybe I need to rewatch JJK a little bit for like season 1. But like with Mahito, for him, everything is based off of what he can physically touch. Like he has to directly touch what he wants to alter. That much I do know. To turn something into a curse, and then like what he could do, he could also create like his own little like curse henchman looking things. Like that's what we saw in the Shibuya arc. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be very tough to see Mahito win this. Because I remember, for anyone that was on stream, from one of my recent streams, when we were watching a previous Death Battle episode, when this one was announced, we were talking about like this matchup. And the more that I was thinking about the matchup, the more I started to think like, I don't know.
Ever since Cain slew his brother Abel and wetted his fields with his blood,
Nope.
man's greatest fear has been his fellow man.
But what if this fear took on a life of its own?
What if all that negative emotion humans felt for one another spilled from their bodies and congealed, forming, over time, a living being fueled by malice, which believes in nothing but the law of the jungle?
Well, then
Wow.
you'd have the special grade curse with the patch face,
Mahito.
Oh, I've had people tell me I've become a human disaster curse when I've had too many mojitos.
Mahito is one of the
No.
deadliest beings to ever
He's
afflict
worse.
mankind. He's no mere mortal, though, but a cursed spirit. Innumerable spirits exist, weaker or stronger depending on the amount of anxieties, jealousies, hatreds, and fears humans feel about them.
Like
Yeah.
the fear of locusts, kinda weak. Or the fear of smallpox, getting stronger. Or the fear of fire. Oh, goodbye, Tokyo.
Yeah, that's
So it
bigger.
follows that mankind's fear of itself would be extremely powerful. Those negative emotions manifest as Mahito, a being composed of cursed energy.
It's basically like evil ki. Cursed energy can be used to make spirits way stronger, faster, and tougher than any normal human. And
Yeah.
it's invisible, making curses like Mahito impossible for the untrained eye to see. Only a life or death situation can galvanize a normal person to see a cursed spirit.
That also makes
That
cursed
first episode was
spirits virtually
crazy.
immune to physical damage. They may be physically present in space, but can only be harmed by attacks that embody spirit matter.
Right,
like curse
exactly.
Which makes curses insanely hard to get rid of, like ghosts, cockroaches, or my ex. That's why you need a Jujutsu
Oh, your ex what?
sorcerer
Yo.
to come in and Kaisen the shit out of them. They call it exorcism, but I like the way I said it better.
Curses and
True.
sorcerers have battled each other for millennia. waging
Oh, yeah,
a
they were
endless war
boxing
over the
for a
fate
long
of
time.
Humanity. Almost exclusively in Japan, though, for some reason.
But Mahito was special. You see, most curses are basically dumb animals. But Mahito has so much cursed energy that it gave him sentience.
So he was recruited by Kenjaku alongside other special grade disaster curses
Yeah.
to wreak havoc upon the world. In fact, they made Mahito their leader.
And even more frightening than intelligence and bloodlust, Mahito possessed philosophy.
Perhaps informed by the tragic meaninglessness of interhuman conflict, Mahito is an existential nihilist, believing in nothing but his own will to power. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and Mahito is the wolf.
Which also makes him kind of a goofball. If nothing matters, why not have fun with the slaughter? Really get your steps in. He loves to dig around and
Just giving him advice
toy with
on
your
how to
emotions
like
a
terrorize
cartoon
people.
character before slitting your throat.
An appropriate analogy,
Yeah.
considering his curse technique, idol transfiguration.
Yep, he
Using
turns
his
something
cursed
into a
energy,
curse.
Mahito can control anyone's soul with just a touch, including his own. In fact, he's so good at manipulating his own soul that you can't even kill the bastard without directly targeting it.
In Jujutsu Kaisen,
Yeah.
the soul and the body share an immutable connection. Whatever happens to the former affects the latter.
This lets Mahito squash, stretch, and shape-shift his body into literally anything he wants, like
Right.
Play-Doh. He can turn his limbs into blades or clubs, grow wings like a bird or fins like a fish, reform his body around injuries, or even create clones.
Curse users are naturally unharmed by their own ability. Should he touch a human, though, his alterations to their body are instantly fatal.
And since he's attacking your soul, those physical wounds are gonna be
the fact that he cut off my
heal.
boy
Even if
Pedal's
his
arm,
alteration
man,
isn't
or he
directly
made him
fatal,
had to.
The human body won't last more than a few moments in a transfigured state.
All that with one touch. God, I thought herpes was bad.
His powers mean Mahito treats humans as effectively disposable dolls that he can gleefully experiment
He's
on.
gonna repeatedly
The more
throughout the
casual
entire
use, the
show.
better, especially if he gets to break your spirit first and watch you suffer.
Even more twisted is when he combines two transfigured humans together for soul multiplicity. Essentially a giant torrent of body horror flesh that he repels at an opponent. Yeah.
It turned to a I forgot about that part in this fight, bro. But then again, lots of what's happening in this
Mahito is
fight.
unbelievably creative with his application of idol transfiguration, and despite being a newborn curse, consistently keeps experienced sorcerers on the back foot.
It helps that he's a quick study who's picked up a number of different curse techniques, like the Black Flash.
By applying cursed energy within 1 microsecond of an impact with an enemy, space itself will distort, exponentially amplifying its force by a factor of 2.5.
Not only does this hurt like a mother, it restores your curse technique and gets you fully in the zone.
And would require reflexes moving nearly 1,000 times the speed of sound.
Mach 900.
No
What?
that Mahito also unlocked the pinnacle of sorcerer techniques, the domain expansion.
Oh shit! More hands! A domain is like a barrier of cursed energy, but if you're caught inside, Mahito can use idol transfiguration instantly without even needing to touch you.
It's called the self-embodiment of perfection.
Oh, that's gonna be the workaround. So in the domain expansion, he can do his idol transfiguration there, and he doesn't have to touch a ground. Oh shoot! Oh shoot!
Ultimate expression.
So that's gonna be his workaround
over his victim's body
on his range
and
issue.
Soul. The only time it ever failed was against the student sorcerer and Mahito's archenemy, Yuji Itadori.
Because not only was Yuji a barf-inducing goody little two-shoes who believed in the inalienable rights of all living things, blah, 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 he also had a curse inside of him.
The king of curses, Sukuna.
Which meant Mahito's ability affected both souls in Yuji's body. Sukuna didn't like that. No surprise, and kicked Mahito's ass, forcing Patchface to fight with a handicap whenever facing his pink-haired menace.
Yuji's belief in the value of human life flew directly in the face of the world that Mahito knew to be cruel and meaningless. So he made it his mission to crush Yuji's spirit before killing him. Murdering his friends, defiling the corpses,
my dog nodding me, man. Come on.
For the kill.
And
he was stomping them out. That was uncalled for.
Mahito's one of the most powerful curses in the world, and his growth is exponential.
Fellow disaster curse Jogo was able to summon a massive meteor capable of reducing the city of Shibuya to ash.
That had taken energy of over 800 kilotons of TNT.
And Mahito can take as good as he can give, especially when, in the throes of struggle against Yuji, he evolved, unlocking a vastly more powerful form. The instant body of distorted
Bro turned to
with armored exoskeleton
the Predator
and blades. This was a taste of the almighty curse Mahito was growing into. A true blight on all mankind.
It wouldn't last. In a bitter battle of resolve, Yuji won out. In a dog-eat-dog world, there was now
and he was like, I am you.
So he tucked tail.
This scene was so satisfying. Look, I don't know how much I could really express to y'all how satisfying that scene was. Getting to watch him just run. Just like, no, don't do it. Like, seeing that, I'm like, yes. Because that's exactly how we felt when you were dropping bodies, bro. When you were dropping off a lot of people that we mess with for real, bro. Come on.
You know, life suddenly became a whole lot more meaningful the second it looked like it was about to end.
All that gleeful nihilism, just a bitter hypocrisy in the end.
For him, maybe, but Mahito found a convert in his archenemy. After a battle that wiped out thousands of innocent people, Yuji's youthful spirit was gone. The only thing left that mattered was exorcising this curse.
In a way, that was Mahito's final victory, the destruction of another human being's soul. He may not have been around to see it, but the curse Mahito inflicted on the world would bring it to its knees.
Yeah, you gave him a little too much credit,
Hey,
but
you
we'll.
see that join button? Yeah, that one. That's your ticket to being a death battle champion.
Hey, yeah, hey, man, show support the Death Battle, man. Join this membership, you know, subscribe, like, you know, gotta show support,
You for being a champion.
All right.
All
By
right,
that
the
time,
controls are set, and we've run the day
get it.
for all
Let's get it.
possibilities.
It's
Time for a death battle. Hey, let's get it. Oh, we in should play we already starting off dropping bodies, huh? Come on, man. It's Mahito again, isn't it?
I'd heard of a powerful villain stalking these parts. My organization is going to tear this putrid world down around us. We can use a freak of your talents.
Little old me. Do I want to be king of the social rejects? How about I bring them your head instead?
Oh.
Fine by me. Let's call this your audition.
The audition, huh? Ooh, the no moves? Okay. Would he handle the no moves this easily though? Ah, shoot. Okay. I see it. No, oh, for real? Oh, you trying to fight? Oh, okay. Let's go. Yeah, there we go. Get it. Yeah, barbecue. Dang.
Did you actually just say that? God, how lame.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. No. The animation's going on. Hey. Oh, hey. He's trying to imitate that fight back scene. Yeah, see, decay.
Over.
Did I get the part?
Ooh. Yo.
Decay.
He decay all that. Let's go. Is that Black Flash? Ooh.
What a rush.
Wait, hold on. Might still let you kind of turn it up right now. All right, let's go. Oh, both our platforms. Let's get it. Yeah. Come on. Put your hands up.
That all you got?
Got him.
Domain expansion.
Moment of truth. Let's see if this domain expansion can really work in his favor.
I can read your soul. You're just a scared little boy whose daddy was mean and wants to make it everyone else's problem. Grow up.
Nah, that's crazy. Oh, instead of be off. Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. He's in his mind, so.
Yep. Your soul too. You only hate humanity because you were born that way. Totally
Nice run.
random. I hate them for a reason.
Dang.
Grow up.
See, it wasn't enough. Yeah, that was a fire fight though. Double animation.
Complex power sets, this match was a puzzle to figure out, which is why we're breaking it down to 3 categories.
I
Physical
bet.
stats, survivability, and their powers.
But
Powers,
first,
okay.
let's address one thing. Could Shigaraki even see Mahito? He's an invisible curse after all.
Cursed energy and quirks are notably different, and Shigaraki wouldn't be able to see curses normally. However, even regular humans can spontaneously develop the ability to see curses in life and death scenarios.
Right.
And with the search quirk, Shigaraki would have had no problem tracking it.
So seeing Mahito wouldn't have been an issue. With that out of the way, we can jump into their stats.
This was
Okay.
no contest.
Let's see the
Despite
stats.
the disaster curses being able to destroy entire cities with their cursed energy, Shigaraki scaling to Deku and Bakugo meant he was
what?
calculably
Okay,
millions
something
of
happens
times
between Deku and
stronger.
Bakugo.
He was faster too, considering he could react to light beams, while Mahito's Black Flash capped out at nearly 1,000 times the speed of sound. Nothing to scoff at, but Shiggy was thousands of times faster. Shigaraki takes stats.
But survivability
Okay.
was a
But
little trickier to
survivability.
figure out.
Yep, in terms of raw durability, Shigaraki was a lot tougher, and his ability to generate new flesh meant that he could heal any wounds he might receive super easy.
However, Mahito is a curse
yeah.
and is immune to the kind of overwhelming physical damage Shigaraki could dish out.
See, here's the thing with like survivability, like durability, or like I guess you could say endurance, like what each person has had to endure throughout their show. Bro, Shigaraki had to endure so many attacks from so many people. He had to like endure some of the explosions that Bakugo did on him, that he dealt onto him. When like he was knocking on death's door, where he was like he had like that last bit of energy left, where he was trying to go all out, and it was like his last like. And you know how it is with like side character or main character logic. Somehow they become like stronger and faster than before. Like bro was dodging Shigaraki's hits, he was still hitting him with those attacks. Not even to mention all that bars. Endeavor, when he did his prominence burn on this dude, I think he did the prominence burn on him like almost like once or twice. No, he did it once on him in like season 6, I think, and then in season 7 he did that on All For One. But he's had to endure a lot. I just wanted to say that.
Not only that, Mahito's regenerative ability via idol transfiguration meant that he'd come back from anything short of spiritual damage.
Considering Mahito's unique curse body, he should actually get the edge in survivability.
Which presents a crucial question. Could
Yeah.
Shigaraki even kill a curse like Mahito in the first place?
That's
Or
the
would
question.
Mahito's unkillability give him the time he needed to eventually put Shiggy down with idol transfiguration?
It all comes
No,
down
good
to
question.
their powers.
Shigaraki had a lot more variety with all of the crazy quirks All For One had collected over all the years, but none that we know of could properly kill a curse. That didn't mean idol transfiguration was a surefire bet either, though.
Of all things, Shigaraki's vestiges served as a spiritual shield from the effects of idol transfiguration. The fact that Mahito could not avoid targeting Sukuna while attacking Yuji meant that he couldn't target specific souls inside a person.
And Shiggy has hundreds of soul-like entities inside of him. Sure, each one down means he loses a quirk, but that's more than enough time to land a single hit with Decay, especially considering how much faster Shiggy is.
And Mahito has no way to defend against Shigaraki's primary quirk.
Oh wait, hold on. Even if Shigaraki could not target spiritual matter, Nanami states that a curse like Mahito would still die after expending all of their cursed energy. Given Shigaraki's massive physical advantages, arsenal of abilities, improving 45-day stamina versus Gigantomachia, he easily wins in the war of attrition. Oh, for sure. Like his physique right now literally matches Golden Age All Might, right?
Work. Decay has affected spiritual beings in the past. Again, vestiges. In fact, he was able to damage Deku's vestige and have that damage transferred to the Deku in the
Hey,
real world.
y'all.
Mahito may be
Hey,
mean-spirited.
look. Y'all threw in a quick manga thing. I'm so glad I took my earbud out when I did that. Man, they be quick with the references though. I ain't gonna lie.
energy, but he still has a physical form. In fact, sorcerers that couldn't naturally target the soul were able to fight him on even footing. No reason to think Shiggy wouldn't decay him like everyone else.
Giving Shigaraki the third and final edge.
Yeah.
It was a unique duel to the death, but Shigaraki's overwhelming might, unstoppable powers, and deadly decay spelled the end for the disaster curse.
Nothing else to say. You really gotta
So
hand it to
that decay
Shigaraki.
was
The winner is Tomura
gotta hand it to
Shigaraki.
Okay.
Next time on...
But yeah, like I said though, like going into it, I already felt like that it was going to be an unfair matchup, and when they put it more into depth, now I understand even more. Like, yeah, it would not have worked. Who we got? Doom! Oh, my different
Subscribe
Doom!
and join as a member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
Hold up! That's gonna be crazy! That's gonna be what are we talking about? Yo! But Doom, but like Doom though, those weapons he has though. In terms of strength and speed, you can make arguments for either or, but the weapon side of that, I don't know. Doom guy, he got some weapons on him. But yeah, this was a good episode. Can't wait to check out the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you guys have any more requests, please put them down in the comment sections down below. And until then, see you guys next time. Mike Jumpstreet out. Peace.